one more thing. Going into the patterns of the left and the right. We get the left and the right. So we got the habitual patterns. When there's an imbalance, the left drawn to the right plus the right, and that in itself, all this put together, create what's called fire smoke, habitual patterns, fire smoke, which creates fear of loss. From the ego, that general environment of them two together, and it plays about in a few different ways. This side, driven by evil fear, I'll put it like this. What's called evil fear. Which comes up sadness. This side, shame. Fear of God. And there's different, it then comes about in different ways. That's the right plus the left, right plus the left, which is self sabotage. Right plus the left, which is self sabotage, coming from the right, which is smoke. Then you've got the left plus the right. And that is driven by shame. Led by that connection with them two. And then you've got here the left sabotage of right. Left sabotage of right, which is fire. And they're like covered by this, masked by this fear of loss, is masked by different types of anger. This fire smoke is like general agitation of the community. Everyone experiences it. General agitation. This here smoke. We'll start with fire, which is sabotage of others. Led by that. That's like a silent anger. This one, smoke, is masked by like a kind of like a rage type. Not so much like outwardly, you know, people that crack it and that. That's that. And then what it leads to, or what it's trying to do, is so that they're both fight. The initial thing is flight, like the initial pattern of the right being drawn to the left, and then what it's trying to do is bring about freeze of the right, or what it does bring about is like what it equals: sabotage, self-sabotage, sabotage of others. The minus that it equals is freeze, which is a evil fear. And that's darkness. So fire, smoke, the fire being the left sabotage of others, the smoke being the right self-sabotage, and the darkness being what it results in is the freeze. Yeah. The right's self-sabotage is still that channel, right? But what the end result is, like what's happening, the end result is the darkness, which is freeze. That's what it's sort of geared towards, you know, what the darkness gears it towards. The sadness, the sabotage of others is driven by evil fear, and they're all manifested in anger. The fear is masked through the animal soul in anger. What else have I got? Yeah, it's don't want people to be off put by the concepts, and try to articulate it in a way now that people can sort of grasp, which it's pretty easy to understand. Like the right plus the left narcissist plus supply, like broken homes or whatever, leading to, or like the disconnect, leading to a general environment where the right in giving is attracted to the left in receiving, and then the end result being that thing, you know, this smoke plus the fire, that's the smoke, and the fire smoke, the smoke part of it is the self-sabotage, the fire part of it is the sabotage of others and their role, the left's role in encouraging the sabotage, which in itself is like a sabotage. That's like what it's rooted in that evil fear, and it's trying to get, like, you know, misery loves company. It's trying, that's like narcissists trying to bring the supply down to their level in darkness. So that's the positive plus negative, and the negative plus positive, two sides of it. Sabotage, self-sabotage, sabotage of self. It's like an SOS. Sabotage of self, sabotage of others. The left's role in it, the right's role in it, and it's equal minus, which is, it's trying to get to that. It's trying to get to that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, what it should be is they need to separate. People go to their families or whatever, go to their right sides, and what it is, so you've got heart, should be geared love of God, truth, love of truth, and soul, fear of God. And this, instead of like pride in acts and pleasure, be anticipation of pleasure. So it should be anticipation of pleasure. rooted in that truth, love of truth, love of God, soul, fear of God, and both sides separate. No, like, you know, because that's the cause of the imbalance, is a disconnect, a generational trauma, current family trauma, current like disconnect at youth, leading people to either one or two sides, the left and the right, and then their attraction to each other, and willingness of wanting to, deep need to give, their deep need to receive. And when it's come through the imbalanced place, if there was a core imbalance, then it creates that environment. And that's what's causing all the dramas or whatever. The initial fire smoke, so the three types, so the initial fire smoke, fear of loss, because of the right plus the left, fire, smoke, and then that creating the environment where it's, we'll just put it like this, narcissist versus supply, and then that creating the self-sabotage, which is the smoke, and the, which is the supply, equals the narcissist is the sabotage of others. And these things are like subconscious as well. It's not like a conscious thing until it gets to darkness on darkness, which is that evil fear. Both creates, negative creates negative. Freeze. And the left is always frozen. They just learn to live with it. And raise evil fear and left. That's the negative that it equals. And the genuine angst, fear of loss of everyone is the fact that all that happens, and those two are drawn together. Fire, smoke, the smoke in it, the fire in it, and it leading to darkness, evil, fear. Pretty much it. I'll try and break down better. I just wanted to sort of get it across. I hope I explained it in a way that people don't look at it and go, oh, like too abstract, too out there or whatever, because it's really not. It's very basic, and this anger is the root of all like destruction, and all these things are anger. It's all anger. It's all anger. Like the stat smoke is a type of anger. So it's a mask of that, fear of loss. It's a fight. That's anger. That's anger. And that creates anger. Yeah. So we got 1, 2, 3, and that is the agitation, which is an anger that everyone has to deal with because of this situation. Guarantee you, that's the cause of everything. The mingling, not good, and it creates all these problems in the world. Them being drawn to them, and it leading in that the genuine angst, fear of loss. Everyone's on edge. That initial anger creates, that anger there, plus that anger there, them two, like the fire, the smoke, and then the darkness because of it, isolation, that on an extreme, hypovigilance, and that is what roots the narcissist in the first place. They're coming from that place in the first place. They're trying to drag people down to it. Yeah, and it's like it comes about fatherless homes and stuff like that. Fatherless homes, people with no male role models. Our society now, look what it's doing, creates this environment where people have like just out to just that baseless hatred, genuine angst in everyone. The people of the middle have to suffer, they have to dealing with that. They shouldn't have to deal with that. Yeah. So yeah, my solution is to go to families and repair individually within the family unit, or people on their own repair individually. Everyone's in their own circumstance and they can do it. And yeah, and I've like put my solution there in terms of like the being cognizant of all that, and the road to rectification is to like know all that and gear these things, like separate from like the parental nurturing that's like subconscious from the animal soul, and connect with the higher love of truth, love of God, love of truth. Yeah, like the Torah is God's ways. So the love of that, love of God's ways, love of God, know who He is. That's the heart. That's relationship there. And the love of truth is like turning it from like, instead of like a ego self thing, the animal soul, to like a unity thing where it's a personal relationship, and it's like a love of the truth of like the facts, and aligning with that. And like that's what I meant about the bread of shame of that, and that like nobody wants that. People want to put in, do their bit. People on the right want to put in and do their bit, but it starts in a personal, because the right way of giving is like through your acts, you know what I mean? Like people seeing that and then taking suit type thing, and they have to be in line. Otherwise, otherwise it's not in the right channel, and the left get angry and they want to sabotage because they're rooted in that evil fear. And evil fear is like it's scary in terms of like there's I can't even say it, like it's not like that word. It's just what's devoid of the truth, the opposite to the truth, everything that's opposite to the truth, darkness as what it is. Darkness, what you can imagine in darkness, what freezes, isolation. Yeah. So yeah, that's I'll get better and more. I'll do more and get better. And yeah, thank you.